are they with Comey, with McCabe, with Brennan, with all these people? They lied to Congress. They lied. They leaked. They spied in our campaign. I see Carter Page is bringing a lawsuit. That's good news.
That was President Trump in his first television interview since the election on Sunday Morning Futures with me yesterday. He commented on former campaign advisor Carter Page, who just this weekend filed a $75 million lawsuit against the Department of Justice and the FBI. He was a victim of the unlawful spying as part of the special counsel's investigation into Russia. And joining me right now is the man himself, former Trump foreign policy advisor, Carter Page. Carter, it's great to have you this morning. Thank you so much for being here. I've got your lawsuit in front of me, and in it, you are suing Jim Comey, Andrew McCabe, Kevin Kleinsmith, who we know already pled guilty to lying on a document that was used to get the FISA warrant to spy on you, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Joe Pientka, and the list goes on. Tell me in a nutshell what this lawsuit is about, Carter.
Maria, the lawsuit is really just achieving justice after over 4 years of injustices and one of the greatest civil rights violations by the U.S. intelligence community in American history. The time has finally come. And similar to what you had Congressman Collins on, the conversations you've had with people like Chairman Graham, people have been digging for the truth and trying to get some semblance of justice after these terrible crimes. So this case is an important next step, really an essential step in terms of achieving those objectives.
Well, your life was completely ruined. You were wiretapped. You were spied on by the FBI. And that meant, tell us what that means. I mean, they had your phone calls, your emails, your texts, everything, and then that gave them a window into the Trump campaign. You were never charged with anything. You were a victim of an effort to take down President Trump and candidate Trump.
Well, and that's exactly right, Maria. And just like President Trump spoke with you about yesterday, I mean, what happened to me, it was just not about me. Obviously, they were just using me as a window to essentially infiltrate the first Trump campaign 4 years ago. So, unfortunately, I mean, the death threats and the terrible assault on the democracy that I've suffered, there were so many other people who were also, you know, junior Trump campaign volunteers and people just trying to participate in our political process. And unfortunately, we're just in a situation where, you know, again, 4 years later, just like President Trump was saying to you yesterday, we still have not gotten to the full truth and achieved final justice as of yet.
So one thing was the fact that you had meetings with Russians, and some of those Russians, the FBI said, were questionable figures. You had, years before Trump even came into the picture, you had worked with the CIA. You were actually working alongside the CIA to take down certain Russians. Is that right?
Both the CIA, the FBI, and other intelligence agencies, not just over the last several years, but going back decades. I've had a long-standing relationship and been a supporter of our national security infrastructure, if you will, including the intelligence agencies.
So from an outsider's perspective, they see you and they say, oh, this guy Carter Page has been hanging out with all these questionable Russians. So from an outsider's perspective, one would say, well, why is that? Oh, he's connected to Donald Trump. Well, maybe they colluded with Russia. But one had to look a little further into the story to understand that you had worked with law enforcement over the years, and that's why you had these relationships. So Kevin Kleinsmith, who was a FBI agent, wrote that you were not an asset of the CIA, and that's how they got a warrant to spy on you. When I said your life was ruined and changed, it's because you did get those death threats. I asked President Trump about the role the FBI and the Department of Justice are playing in the investigations into voter fraud yesterday. Listen to what he said, Carter. Where is the DOJ and the FBI in all of this, Mr. President? You have laid out some serious charges here. Shouldn't this be something that the FBI is investigating? Are they?
Missing in
Is the
action.
DOJ investigating?
It's inconceivable. You would think if you're in the FBI or Department of Justice, this is the biggest thing you could be looking at. Where are they? I've not seen anything. I mean, they just keep moving along, and they go on to the next president.
Carter, it's just extraordinary to me, given the evidence that we have. In fact, on November 10th, 2020, Andrew McCabe testified in front of the Senate Judiciary hearing. He said any material misrepresentation or error in the FISA application is unacceptable. Your reaction to what you heard from Andy McCabe?
Well, unfortunately, it's just a continuation. I've tried to help for going back so long with the U.S. intelligence community, particularly the FBI. I sent, as I talked about in my complaint, I sent a letter to FBI Director Comey 2 days after these defamatory articles started coming out from big tech companies and the big media. So unfortunately, it's just been an uphill battle, and I've been largely fighting on my own. But now I've got a great small team of entrepreneurial attorneys who have been really helping me tremendously in terms of putting together this very strong case, I believe.
Carter, real quick, what do you want the American people to understand about your story?
It's going to be a long uphill battle, Maria. I think if people can help Lynn Wood and his team at Fight Back Foundation, fightback.law, to the extent people can help, it would be a huge support, because this is going to be a long, ongoing battle, and we're up against some of the biggest forces in America.
Yes, you are. Carter Page, thanks very much, and we'll be watching, of course.